Alabama residents have just 1 month left to get a new ID that will allow them to fly in commercial airliners. Thousands of Alabama families are waiting to hear if they are going to receive money to help pay for private school and other education expenses, and some government buildings will soon be getting more energy efficient thanks to a federal program.
Coming up in sports, we'll take you out to the Calhoun County Soccer Tournament at Chocowacca Park. EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
Hello, we're glad you could join us. I'm Mike Stedham. On May 7th, Alabamians who try to use their standard driver's license to get on a commercial airliner or enter some federal facilities will find themselves out of luck. That's the day the Real ID Act of 2005 finally takes effect. Alabama has been offering the proper kind of driver's license, known as a Star ID, since 2012. Calhoun County License Commissioner Barry Robertson says Alabama was one of the first states ready to comply with this law.
We've had probably a half dozen dates that this was going to be implemented, but it never has. But they're standing firm with May 7th, 2025. So we're getting a rush of people that have been coming in, asking questions, telephone calls, and we just hand them the form and go with it.
Robertson says that a regular Alabama license will still allow people to drive, vote, and carry out everyday activities. It's when they travel by air or need to enter a federal building that they could have some problems. There are some differences in the process for getting a Star ID. For instance, they can only be issued at offices that administer licenses, such as a state trooper's office.
We cannot issue the first Star ID. We can renew, but first issuance has to go from an issuing office, basically a trooper post or an ALEA issuing office, and they have those throughout the state. You don't have to. If you live in Calhoun County, you can go to Mobile and have it done. You can go anywhere in the state, but it's important to know you can go there. The second thing it's important to know is make an appointment. ALEA.gov. They have a section you can make an appointment, and from everything I've been told and everything I've experienced, you're in within 10 minutes and you can get it done quickly.
Robertson says there is no requirement that everyone get a Star ID, but it can make a big difference for those who need one for a specific purpose.
That doesn't mean you have to have one. If you're going to fly domestically, if you're going to enter a federal building or a federal installation, you will have to have that. So there's no mandate that you have one. I mean, and also if you're 18 years of age or under, you don't have to have one either to fly. So, but the conventional wisdom is if you're taking your permit test, you're taking your driver's license, go ahead and do it because you're going to have it after 18. But no, you do not have to have it if you're not going to fly. But if you fly, if you don't have the passport, you have to have that. You can. Some people said, I never fly, I never want to use it, and you don't have to have it. You don't have to have it issued.
And Robertson says there's no difference in the cost of getting a Star ID or renewing a regular driver's license. Each would cost $36.25. And he says that even if a resident doesn't get the Star ID by May the 7th, they can still get one later. According to Cherokee County Sheriff Jeff Shaver, a search warrant executed Sunday night at a residence in Galesville resulted in the arrest of a local woman on multiple charges. Deputies went to the residence following a report of a domestic dispute. During the course of the investigation, sufficient evidence was gathered to obtain a search warrant. Deputies found methamphetamine, illegal prescription pills, and drug paraphernalia inside that home. As a result, 41-year-old Lacey Timmons was taken into custody and is facing several charges, including the chemical endangerment of a child, 2 counts of unlawful possession of a controlled substance, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia, and third-degree domestic violence. Timmons was taken to the Cherokee County Detention Center, where she is being held pending bond. Thousands of Alabama families are waiting to hear if they're going to get state money to help pay for their children's education. Details in just a moment.
Spring into freshness at WM. Celebrate the season with our bountiful selection of farm fresh produce. From juicy berries to crisp greens, taste the flavors of spring at WM. Visit us today and let the freshness bloom in every bite.
Need tough, comfortable workwear? Rainouts in Heflin has boots, jeans, hats, and gear built for the toughest jobs. From the farm to the pipeline, Rainouts has gear for men, women, and kids, so the whole family can tackle the toughest jobs with confidence. We've got the quality you need with the hometown service you'll love. Stop by today next to WM Grocery and gear up with great prices and a local touch. Rainouts, where hard work meets Western style.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
More than 36,000 Alabama students have applied for state-funded vouchers through the Alabama Choose Act. About two-thirds of those asking for assistance outside the public school system. Governor Kay Ivey announced this morning that the applicants will find out by next month if they're to receive up to $7,000 for private school tuition or $2,000 per homeschooled student. The program will cost the state about $100 million, with all of that coming out of the Education Trust Fund starting in the next fiscal year. Ivey said the Choose Act will allow more families an opportunity to choose a school that meets their child's individual needs. The state received applications for a total of 36,873 students. Private school students and those who are homeschooled accounted for more than 66% of the requests, with another 28% listed as students in public and charter schools. Families that receive the vouchers will be able to start setting up education savings accounts in July for the approved expenses. 2 energy-saving projects in Calhoun County will be given $50,000 each as part of a major grant program announced Monday by Governor Kay Ivey and officials with the state's Department of Economic and Community Affairs. The Calhoun County Commission will use its grant to upgrade the HVAC unit and install LED lighting at the Calhoun County Courthouse. Meanwhile, Piedmont's Health Care Authority will spend its allocation to install HVAC units in the Piedmont Health Care Center. The projects are among 16 grants statewide worth close to $700,000 to make upgrades to lighting, heating, and air conditioning and wastewater treatment systems. The purpose of these state energy program grants is to reduce energy waste and lower utility costs by replacing outdated systems with energy-efficient equipment. The Alabama Department of Economic and Community Affairs is administering the grants from funds that are made possible by the U.S. Department of Energy. Jacksonville officials say a portion of the Ladiga Trail will be closed for maintenance for 2 days this week. Crews will be working the trail from 7 a.m. until 4 p.m. on both Thursday and Friday. The closure will be between the Jacksonville High School Spur and Warren Drive. Several outdoor activities are planned for this weekend, and we'll have those stories coming up in just a moment.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
I'm Mary Beth from CARES Direct Primary Care. Do you want convenient 24/7 access to health care? We're available in person, by text, phone, and video visit. Sooner or later, we all get sick. A quick trip to an ER or urgent care can quickly add up to more than the cost of 1 year's membership of Direct Primary Care. If you have a high deductible, you can quickly burn through that before your insurance activates. Join CARES DPC today.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
Smoke on the Falls returns Saturday to the newly renovated Nakalula Falls Campground in Gadsden. The free event kicks off at 10 a.m., featuring food trucks, a beer tent, and live music all day. Smoke on the Falls is presented by the city's Parks and Recreation Department. The highlight of the weekend is the big barbecue contest, pitting 60-plus teams through the professional and backyard divisions. New features this year include 2 side competitions: That's Amore, which is a cocktail and pizza cook-off, and It Ain't Your Mama's Recipe, which is a dessert cook-off. There'll also be a Kids Q competition for grill masters in training from ages 5 to 15. The City of Jacksonville will hold its second annual Paws in the Park Easter event at the Germania Springs Dog Park Saturday afternoon starting at 1. This event is free and open to the public, and all dogs are welcome. The events include a doggy Easter egg hunt with treats inside the eggs, photos with your pups and the Easter Bunny, and an Easter Sunday best contest for dogs dressed up in their finest Easter attire. Remember that all dogs must be leashed outside the park and must be accompanied by an owner inside the park at all times. No sign-up is required. John Holder's next with our local sports update.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Welcome to Buster Miles Kia in Anniston, where we're dedicated to serving you with honesty and care. Whether you're shopping for a new or used car or need service, we're here to make it easy and stress-free. Visit us today at Buster Miles Kia, where great cars and family values come together. Buster Miles Kia, your trusted hometown dealership.
EAN News would like to thank all our commercial sponsors. Go check out our sponsors' links in the description below.
A good Tuesday evening to you. John Holder in for Jordan Smith with EAN Sports on this Tuesday night. We're going to take you out to the Calhoun County Soccer Tournament, which began last night with basically the quarterfinals out at Chocowacca Park in Oxford. We begin with boys action. On the boys side of things, number 1 seed Oxford had an easy time with number 8 seed Anniston beating the Bulldogs 13-0. This was mercy ruled at halftime as Oxford scored all 13 of their goals in the first half of the game, and the game was called at halftime. Leading the way for Oxford last night with 2 goals each, Kevin Martinez, Jacoby Pope, Edward Benitez, and Yandel Amardo. All of those had 2 goals last night for Oxford. Also in boys action last night, it was number 4 seed Sachs beating number 5 seed Weavers 6-4. And again, Carlos Martinez with 4 of the 6 goals for the Sachs Wildcats last night. Great game last night. The game of the night was number 6 Jacksonville beating Donahoe 4-3, and it came down to a penalty kick. Edgar Santillan with a penalty kick. That was one of his 2 goals last night. Judah Jennings and also Miles Sawyer with goals last night to lead Jacksonville. And White Plains will make their first ever appearance in the county semifinals. The number 2 seeded Wildcats beat Faith Christian last night by a score of 12-2. 5 of those 12 goals coming from Anthony Orsanto. Now, we go to the girls' side of things, and on the girls' side, there were 3 games last night. Number 4 seed White Plains beating number 5 seed Weaver 6-0 last night. For White Plains, Lorelei McKenzie with 4 of the 6 goals for the Wildcats. Number 6 Oxford last night with an upset. They beat number 3 seed Sachs by a score of 6-1 last night. Rachel Garcia, Sadie Robertson, and Tia Nichols all had goals last night for Oxford. And number 2 seed Jacksonville, this was again a mercy game last night as they beat Faith Christian by a score of 10-0. Emerson Weaver, Emma Easterling each had 2 goals apiece for the Jacksonville Golden Eagles. So let's look at our Calhoun County Soccer Tournament scoreboard from last night. On the boys' side, there again are the final scores. Oxford a mercy rule over Anniston, 13-0. Jacksonville with that big win over Donahoe, 6-4. Sachs by the same score over Weaver, 6-4. And White Plains, this was a mercy game as well, by 10 goals over Faith Christian, 12-2. On the girls' side of things, a couple of shutouts. White Plains over Weaver, 6-0. Jacksonville shutting out Faith Christian, 10-0. And then you see the upset there with Oxford beating Sachs 3-1 last night. Semifinal action now tonight coming up at Chocowacca Park. On the boys' side, number 1 seed Oxford taking on number 4 seed Sachs. That should be a great game. Also, number 2 seed White Plains taking on number 6 seed Jacksonville. Again, that should be a great contest tonight out at Chocowacca Park. On the girls' side of things tonight, also at Chocowacca Park, on the soccer fields at the back of the park there, number 1 seed Donahoe, they had a bye. They'll take on number 4 seed White Plains and number 6 seed Oxford against number 2 seed Jacksonville. There will be a break tomorrow night, and then the championship games coming up again at Chocowacca Park in Oxford. The girls' county championship game will be at 5 o'clock on Thursday, and the boys' championship game at 7 o'clock Thursday night, as we'll crown more county champions at Chocowacca Park coming up on Thursday night. That's going to wrap it up for sports. Now back to Mike with more EAN local news.
Thanks for that update, John, and thank you for watching us today. You'll find us every weeknight on Facebook, on YouTube, on our website, and on Rumble. Go to the platform of your choice and watch our news, sports, and weather coverage whenever it's convenient for you. We'll see you back here Wednesday for your news on your schedule.